All right, all right, all right. This is Miss Wells, owner and operator of the 1HUNNID Health Show. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I wanted to play that little clip, just so y'all can see this ain't just for me. These are from some of the top docs. So I want to really truly spend the rest of this time, now that I've gotten the legitimacy out of the way when it comes down to visceral fat. And you see, I knew it wasn't going to be long because we have such an epidemic of skinny fat people. And not only that, kids becoming fat. I'm not talking about like they look fat. I'm talking about they're fat on the inside. This visceral fat and visceral adiposity is what they're calling it now. And that's for everybody, no matter what your weight is. Um, so I really, really, truly wanted to show you guys and really break down a little bit more of the science and certain things that you gotta stay away from to get to stop feeding. I call it the obesity mob, and specifically the visceral fat. There's a specific type of bacteria that really truly feed and love to direct all of your body functions to make more and to set up the environment for them to thrive. And so I say they like to take out your alpha team, which is your snipers that typically would keep that gang in check, because you do need a little bit of visceral fat. Think about like a piece of paper, how thin that is. That's what we need. Instead, we ending up with something thick. If y'all ain't on these, y'all really should. These silicone face masks, things, they make it so much easier for you to talk and to breathe, make it a lot more easier to maintain throughout the day with that mask. But instead, we get like that. Then we start getting it thick like this. Then we start getting it thick like a book. Then we got to start getting it extra thick like the size of a box. And, we start now moving organs apart. And then not only that, here's the dangerous part. And I get so angry that the weight loss industry has been hijacking health for so long, and that nobody has just really come out and called them on their crap enough, and to get the masses to hear, like the stop this foolishness. Like, we're worried about subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat is what you dealing with when you getting on the scale. Okay. I just want to make sure I make myself clear. But visceral fat can take over your liver. You can't live without your liver. So you could be someone that don't have an alcohol problem like that to the point to where your liver could be destroyed. But because of these crooked food companies, they are able to continue to put sneak stuff, backstabbing stuff, fake stuff inside of things that people think are healthy. So normally I just talk about the foods, normally certain fake foods, but right now I'm gonna call out all of the little, as many of them as I can. And I'm going to have to do this in a two-part as well, because I really just wanted to list out some of these things that feed the visceral fat that you may be doing that you think is healthy, that's not. And then something that you can actually use and to start targeting it, even if you're okay with the weight that you're at, but you want to make sure that you attack that visceral fat. I ran out of time. I actually wanted to show y'all a disgusting picture or a video of, it's like a 1-minute clip of a doctor showing you all on the inside, this woman that's rather thin, another skinny fat person who wanted to go in and get nipped up, and he got it down to the nitty gritty. And if you could have seen on the inside her organ fat and how much was there, there was nothing else that he could do. And so a lot of people think that because you can't see it on the outside with your naked eye, that it doesn't exist, but you're feeling the effects of it. Our kids are feeling the effects of it. But anyways, I'm Miss Wells. I'm America's health teacher. So what's the problem? The problem is people are tofu. That means thin on the outside, fat on the inside. Or you got fat over fat, meaning you overweight or you're obese, and you have an unbelievable amount of visceral fat. So I wanted to tell y'all about something specifically that can help you shrink and actually increase lipolysis, which is the ability of your body to detox those fat cells. See, the fake foods here, let me just give you a summation of how they work. So one, they make you hungry faster and make you want to buy the people product more. But not only that, number two, they create a streamline. Like, so imagine like a bullet train that can get you a high-speed train that can get you from one point to the next point super fast. So that's what they do when with the type of chemicals that they put inside of the fake foods. So it gives you a bullet line, a high-speed train to go right into your visceral fat cells. And I'm not even getting on the subcutaneous fat. I'm talking about specifically your visceral fat, the most dangerous type of fat. And the government allows them to do it. They allow them to do it. So I want you to get it out of your head. If you think, oh, with the FDA, man, these food companies, you know how much money they got? Do you really think the FDA got the manpower? First of all, a lot of the studies that the FDA and stuff will do, how you think they got some serious Fruit Loops classified as a heart healthy food? They was able to put the stamp on there from the American Heart Association because the food companies is the one that gave them the money. So you think they're gonna come out? They're willing to do whatever it is they in bed together. So the FDA don't have the opportunity to do what they need to do against these people. So this is why I appreciate when doctors like, Dr. Mike Hyman and Dr. Todd Lepine, people like that, and Sean Stevenson, who done come out and calling the people on the carpet and letting people know for real. Yo, these people, these mofos is putting yoga mat, the stuff that's on the inside of yoga mat, putting it in the bread. And what do you think that did? Also, think about how many people was going to Subway. Subway was the main one that was doing it. McDonald's. And then we wondering why our kids and our bellies are growing. And we're thinking that, oh, this thing is just a little harmless thing. But think about how often. Imagine if you were going to McDonald's once or twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week, or you go on the Subway thinking you're doing something healthy, and these mofos got some dirt. They feeding you yoga mat. They feeding you yoga mat, and they legally could do it. They was legally able to do it. And it wasn't until that all of these protests and stuff started happening and scientists started going on ahead and putting it out there. Why you think the maggots ain't want their bread? It's yoga mat. Yoga mat. They fed us yoga mat. I used to go to Subway. That's why I don't fool with them now. All right. So if you fool around with Subway and some of the others, they claim that they done started, over 2020 starting to withdraw it out. But you better mind your business. If you go on the Subway and you got a problem, I think that some of them locations and maybe some of them franchises, they ain't pulled all of it out because it was real cheap for them to make the bread with that yoga mat stuff. And what did that do? That increases your visceral fat. You do not want that. And I'm telling you, it's dangerous. Put it like this. When your visceral fat gets to make the best army that it can make, it takes over your liver and turns it to fat. If I can't get you to understand the seriousness of this, I hope that you will hear me and hear my heart on this. I don't want to see y'all die early. I do not want to see y'all leave your families early. It's bigger than your weight. It's bigger than what that scale says. You can be skinny and still have this issue. You cannot eat whatever you want. I'm going to say this again. You cannot eat whatever you want. You cannot eat whatever you want. You cannot eat whatever you want. And some stuff, you got to eliminate it. It don't even need to be in moderation. You got to get rid of American cheese. You got to get rid of American cheese. You got to get rid of imitation cheese. Why? Because you're feeding visceral fat. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're shutting down your body's metabolism. And what happens? So I want you to think about a war. Think about a war zone and you got a bunch of soldiers and they're trapped behind enemy lines. Do you realize, I'm sorry, I got to say how to feel. These motherfuckers surround your cells, literally, and it's like a shootout. Dot, 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 dot. And so you're constantly eating. So if you're not even intermittent fasting, your body can't even get the rest of your injured troops, your mitochondria, which makes your metabolism go. All the things that's on the inside of the cell, it's under heavy fire. But you refuse to even help get some aid or help your alpha team reach the cells because you won't get no green tea. But I got a tea for you. So I'm telling you, it's dead to fake cheese. But this, at least, if you know that you're still going to have some of the other less harmful processed foods, get you some pu'er tea. Let me take off the filter so that way y'all can see it a lot better. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I get passionate because they around here playing with people's life. They playing with people's children's life. You feel me? Get you some pu'er tea. Pu'er. Will you pass the pu'er? Puer, or it'll say Puerh. Y'all, this is serious. This is serious. Puer. All right. Also, the other one, the one that I was telling you guys about last week on the episode, Yerba Mate tea. Yerba Mate tea. This is the easier one to find and to get in the US. I'll go into benefits. Now, I talked to you guys before, and if you know that you've been eating processed food, fast food, or anything like that, I'm telling you, you need to be having you some pu'er tea every day. This is the chaga mushroom elixir, the coffee, for those of you who like coffee. They also make it the non-coffee one and just get the elixir if you don't want the coffee. But this is something that you can do once a week to help your body. Like, I know there's certain processed foods. So a combination of the pu'er tea and getting you some ground flax seeds. The omega-3 specifically in this is going to help your brain to empower you, to help you to be able to now start to block. Basically, you putting up a good defense. You putting together an offense to get ahead, to shrink the fat cells. So this starts to detox your fat cells, and I want to show you what this looks like. So this is not the most potent brand. The best brand that you can get is it's made by a company called Pique Teas. Pique Tea. So I'm gonna say it again. The best on the market that you can get, as far as like the ready-made. I ain't Chinese, so I don't know how to do the pu'er cake. They make the cakes, and you got the man make your own tea and all of that. I don't know how to do all that. There's two types. If you're someone, I have bad allergies, so I don't have the most potent type. And I'm telling you, like, literally, I dropped 6 pounds just in one day. It's like, I just had this one day. And I went to a party and actually had a slice of cake that day. 6 pounds. I'm telling you, real talk. And most of y'all who know that, like, I got injured and stuff, so I wasn't even working out like that. That wasn't one of those workout days like that for me. And I wanted to show y'all, they also have the Mate tea as well. I feel like, not that it's bad, but to me, the yerba, I just feel like the Hispanic people make that their own. It's a Hispanic tea. I feel like this one is more potent, but Numi, they make also the Mate tea. But this is what it'll look like. Like when you get one of the Hispanic brands of it. I just want to make sure that I show y'all so y'all don't end up with no fake stuff. Like, they don't even do all of this. They don't even waste none of that. Like, it's straight up, like, for real. So you're stimulating the PYY, which is the satiety hormone. You're stimulating your GLP-1, which is a powerful thing that will help to slowly release the food out of your stomach. So your body can hold on and use the food that you eat earlier in the day a lot longer than it would with this Mate tea. And then obviously the chaga is a powerful thing that's going to help your metabolism, but it's also going to help your body and your fat cells to detox. You want your fat cells to be able to give up, spend that calorie money. We talking about making it rain fat calories. I don't know why y'all being stingy when it comes down to that fat calorie money. Spend that fat calorie money. I don't know about you, but I want to spend it, baby. So, excuse me. You also need to, I should have left I think y'all can see it. Piyuka. So the matcha green tea that I get. So I get this one and traditional medicines. Sometimes traditional medicines be sold out, but this is one of the more potent, sustainable companies that's real. Okay, 1 second. Let me just take this off. So I want to make sure y'all can see it. All right. So this is the traditional medicines, the matcha green tea. And this is the Piyuka. They have the supreme matcha green tea. So these are I'm just showing you. I don't know them people. I don't work for them. They don't pay me no money. So don't even think it's nothing like that. I just wanted to make sure that I showed you guys and not just only talk about it. So I showed you the pu'er tea. All right. Now, if you want to learn how to do it yourself, then get the cake. They make the pu'er cake. All right. Now, there's two versions of it. So that's a lighter version that I showed y'all, the one that I got, because I have a histamine problem. So if you're someone that you've had kombucha and you've not had like an allergic reaction, if you don't have urticaria like I do, you don't break out in hives, if you don't have an overly sensitive, like if you're not overly sensitive and your body won't convert a harmless thing into something called histamine, create a histamine response. Mine does. So I'm just gonna wait till the summertime. I'm gonna try the more potent one, but even still, just the less potent one still yielded so many results. So it's kind of like, think about wine. You know how you have like the super rich wine, and then you have the wines that's just, they're pretty good. So that's the difference in the pu'er teas. Now, the one in the tea bag is not going to be as potent as the pu'er cakes. The concentration is just different, or the pu'er. So the peak teas, they sell you the crystals. So they're basically giving you like the cake without having to go through all of the work to make it if you were making it from the pu'er cake, if I'm being clear. So the peak tea, listen, if your birthday coming up, or if you got some change, some cheddar, I would suggest that you get the peak tea, pu'er tea. They make they make it in like close the lighter one, like the green tea version, which is like I told you, that's what for me I can tolerate. But if you don't have a problem with fermented foods or kombucha, the best illustration I could tell you is if you tolerate kombuchas, okay, then you can more than tolerate the pu'er tea. I promise you, this ain't no hype. This is something that you want to make sure. This helps lower your lower density lipoproteins, which is the bad cholesterol. So you know how I talked about taking a hot bath and the plaque that builds up in your artery walls? This helps you clear that stuff out of your artery walls. So I want to make sure that you all know exactly what it is, that we're getting into. So what did we just say? We talked about pu'er tea. Make sure it's a real, if you're not going to get that one of the ones that I said, if you're going to buy it on your own, make sure it came from Yunnan. Like, you don't know now, it needs, if it don't come from Yunnan, it's fake, 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 fake. It has to come. That's the only place that there is in the world. That's the only legit place. So a lot of people look at Chinese people, oh, they eat rice, they eat all this, but they got that pu'er. They passed that pu'er. So you can't, if you're not gonna eat and drink like they drink, then you can't be sitting up here saying, okay, you're gonna eat rice like them, but you ain't doing all the other things that they're doing to make sure that they have the opportunity, to burn that off, which is, hey, you're able to go ahead and handle that because they're drinking the pu'er tea. You got to have omega-3 fatty acids. You can get that easily. I find I've had the Walmart version, I've had Target version, all different kind of versions. I personally think that I noticed the difference in the quality of the ground flax seeds that come from Whole Foods. I'm sorry, I just got to put it out there. I see the difference. I see that I can feel it in my body. And omega-3 fatty acids is very, very useful when it comes down to your visceral fat, and you also making sure that you utilize the pu'er tea in the best fashion possible. Now, walking 20 to 30 minutes is going to be another thing. Having regular green tea every day. Now, for visceral fat, so here's what the science says, and I'm just dealing with the health science, you guys. Anywhere from 3 to 4 cups should help you within a month's time actually reduce your so let's say your waist to hip ratio, dang, out of time. That's okay. I got to give y'all the last point. The waist to hip ratio, you can bring that down even by just an inch or even by a half a point in 30 days. If you were willing to do anywhere from 3 to 4 cups of the teas, at least 1 or 2 of them being the pu'er tea. Pu'er tea is it's a little costly, so I do 1 cup and I do multiple cups of the green tea. So you can do whatever kind of versions. Make sure you're getting at least 1 cup of green tea in every day. You want your strategy is to go after this visceral fat. They've actually did liposuction. This is case studies. You ain't got to take my word for it. You can actually look it up. I'll even share that clip that's what one of the doctors was talking about this study. So they did liposuction, meaning that's the only way to actually physically remove fat cells. So when you lose weight, the fat cells not disappearing, they're shrinking. That's why this tea is so powerful, because it helps them shrink. So whatever amount of fat cells you got, you stuck with them unless the doctor start removing them. So they removed 40 pounds worth of fat cells out of this woman. She had a lot of visceral fat. Guess what? None of her symptoms went away. None of this was subcutaneous fat. This is the fat that's like in the other parts of your body outside of your belly and your vital organs and stuff. So this is the stuff, the vein stuff everybody worried about, you know, like their arms, their thighs, their calves, all that kind of stuff. That ain't the problem fat. That belly is the problem. Where your organs at is the problem. Fat in that area in your abdomen, that's the most dangerous kind. She stayed sick. The diabetes didn't go away. The blood pressure didn't lower. None of the things. Now she lost weight, and guess what? She technically was within a healthy BMI, and she was still sick. So I'm telling you guys, this is bigger than your weight. Subcutaneous fat is not your problem. You know, that's great to have a goal for that. I got a goal for it too. I'm on my way down. You want to make sure that you have fat loss. You want to lose visceral fat. You want to get rid of that and get a healthy waist to hip ratio. So we're talking about 88% of US adults are metabolically unhealthy. I don't fall in that. I'm in that rare 12% that's metabolically healthy. I have a 0.78 waist to hip ratio. I'm not playing with this thing. I'm sorry, 0.77. Waist hip ratio. I'm not playing with this thing, and I am actually obese. So I'm telling you that this stuff works. Do what you got to do with the tea. Use the tea. It's so easy to incorporate in your day-to-day life. Now that pu'er tea is very, very rich and potent. I suggest you do it before noon. So if you're somebody that's a night owl, then hey, handle your business. So let me tell you the fake foods. All right. Fake bananas. I bet y'all didn't know. If you can't see the seeds on the outside, it's fake. Plain and simple. Fake bananas gonna help increase your visceral fat. You arming your obesity mob game. Fake bread. Fake bread. How you know it's fake? It says enriched and such, whatever the components are. If it ain't rye bread, pumpernickel, if it ain't sprouted grain bread, it's fake. If you want to know of a company that make real bread, Dave's Killer Bread. That's he's like, I guess like they like surfer dudes kind of people. They make real bread. Sprouted, if it says sprouted grains, it's real bread. All the other ones talking about whole wheat, they got 50, 11, 57, 1 million grains and stuff. That's 1 million grains that's gonna feed that visceral fat and make your obesity, visceral fat gain take over your body. Your vital organs, the most important thing. So bagels, fake salad dressing is so important. You know, these people talking about Hidden Valley, they got something hidden, all right. They making you fat. They opening up your fat cells, and they got a high-speed train and putting them toxins in there. Stay away from it. Hidden Valley, Kraft, all y'all know who you is. You around here giving people fake salad dressing. Fake. They fake. Them fake Nutri-Grain bars. I don't care. I'm calling them out. I'm sick of people dying off of these people's stuff. Fake. They increasing your visceral fat. Get rid of them grain bars. Listen, here's the thing. I'd rather you went on ahead and had you a candy bar, something that you know is unhealthy, and you monitoring that versus you loading up, you feeding your children all these different grain bars, and guess what? You're getting them sicker and sicker, and you thought that you was doing something healthy. Versus maybe you're not going to have a Snicker bar or a Hershey Kisses every single day, multiple times a day. Maybe you're not going to feed your kid a bunch of Twix all day, every day. You get what I'm saying? Because you cognitively know that, hey, this ain't good for me. So I'm telling you, look at the ingredients. And if it's a company that maybe here's how clever they would get. I had a butter that I was using before. It was a vegan butter. You know, I can't believe I'm so fake. Bought them out. So now guess what they don't put in there, which is the next ingredient, canola oil. Now that stuff wasn't being made with canola oil before. So every year, check the name, check the labels on these companies, because these bastards is around here, once they start seeing that, oh, this particular health food company is blowing up and people buying their brand and their product, they go ahead because people buying less. So they fake food, they fake butter, and they fake margarine and all that foolishness. They go ahead and buy that company out, and then they'll leave it alone for about a year or two. And then they go on ahead and sneak in the lower, less quality stuff, still keep the label the same on the outside. So you think you buying the same thing, but they making it cheaper. So they double dipping. So they're making money on the people who trying to do something right and healthy for their company, for their body and their family. And then they also saving money. So they cashing in on both sides of the this equation. Meanwhile, they putting you in the pipeline to an early grave. They some bastards. They dirty, stinking bastards. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry. I had to just get hood with it like that because it's disgusting. It's disgusting that they legally get to do this. And they're increasing people's visceral fat. So people around here, you buying vegan this, you buying healthy this, low fat this, and you think you're making a right decision, and they don't sneak diss you. They sneak diss you. They straight up tried you and your kids, and it ain't right. So I wanted to make sure I told y'all that. Fake cheese. If it say imitation anything, throw it back. Throw it back. Throw it. Just don't do it. I'd rather you get a real cheese than the fake cheese. You know how hard it was. I love Parmesan cheese, but fermented cheese does has a problem for me. So you got to also play around with certain ingredients. So certain cheeses may have a worse effect. If you're someone that really enjoys cheese, as I used to, Daya is another brand that you can get that has real. It's it doesn't have the dairy. So I have a response to dairy. So I'm not supposed to have it. I've eliminated it for the most part out of my life. So DAIYA, again, I don't work for the people. I don't know them, but that's a great cheese alternative if you're someone that enjoys cheese. All right. Soda. You got to dead the soda. You got to get peanuts out your life. Peanuts and peanut butter. You got to get rid of it. That stuff is increasing your visceral fat. It's not healthy. Get you some sliced almonds or regular almonds, walnuts, macadamia nuts. But listen, you got to be careful. See how your body can tolerate pistachios and cashews. For some people, they will actually bloat you. So depends on what your body's sensitivity is. So test it out. If you notice that you're getting a little inflamed or having an inflammatory response, cashews and pistachios for a certain bit of the population, it can cause you to have an inflammatory visceral adiposity type response, meaning inflaming your visceral fat, the fat within your belly area. Okay, so pay attention to that. I don't fool with the pistachios or the cashews. I just did it all. I just stick with what I know I'm not allergic to. Now, if you are somebody that, if there's some people like the outer casing of almonds, they have a sensitivity. You may have to do slivered almonds. Maybe you can't have the almond that has the brown part on the outside, and at least you can still get the benefits. Almonds are a great way. Sliced almond, I'm telling you, they have conjugated linoleic acid, which helps it eats visceral fat. Let's just put it, just to make it simple and plain without being too geeky on the science. Go ahead and get you some almonds. You should be having almonds, or you can do the almond butter. Justin's, I'm calling y'all out. Some of them Justin's versions of that almond butter, they put that fake oil up in there. Some of them got canola oil in the almond butter. It don't even first go with that. It don't even supposed to be there. I'm just keeping it 100. So some of y'all buying almond butter, you better flip that pack over and make sure they ain't been bought out by Peter, you know who done went on ahead and kept the name of the other company, but they putting the same foolishness that Peanuts got in it. So make sure it ain't no fake stuff up in it. You don't want no sunflower oil in there. You don't want no safflower oil. None of that. None of it. It should be made of almond. If that almond butter ain't made of almonds and they got all the 50-11 ingredients, throw that back. Throw it back. Or get you some pecan butter. Or get you some coconut butter. These are all things that will go and eat the visceral fat. That's what you want to do. That's where it's at. You guys have any questions? This is Miss Wells. This is 100 Health Show. Don't be skinny fat. Don't be fat. I'd rather you, if you're overweight, be metabolically healthy and overweight. It is possible to be fat and fit. It is possible to be healthier. You understand? Make sure you get that waist to hip ratio under control. Get it under 0.9 if you're a male, or anybody with a Y chromosome within their DNA. I'm just saying. Or if you're a female biologically, XX chromosome, just so I'm clear, you need to be under 0.8. All right. So if you're a hermaphrodite, or sexually ambiguous, those are the only other two genders, scientifically speaking. Again, yours need to be under 0.9. Only those with XX chromosome, you need to be under 0.8 for your waist to hip ratio. Please, 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 please. All right. Any questions, y'all? I want y'all to pass the puer T. Peak T. I'm going to show it to you one more again. They call it, sometimes you may see it online, called the Emperor's Tea. So this is what it is. This is what it looked like. This is the Maite tea. I just want to make sure you know what it looks like. Are there any questions, you guys? You need to get that puer in your life every single day. This is going to help you lower your risk of heart disease. It's going to help lower the bad cholesterol. This is also going to help you specifically improve your metabolism and shrink your fat cells. It takes roughly about 21 days for you to start seeing, as far as like the longer term, the more drastic measures. So don't think, oh, you finna get 1 cup of puer and oh, you magically finna lose all the weight that you ever wanted. Your belly just gonna shrink in and sink in, you know, in a day or a week. Come on, it takes time, but you can measure it. You can start seeing that your measurements, your inches are going in. Okay. So please, please get rid of the fake food out your life. Get rid of the backstabbers, please, please, please. If you're addicted to that little fizz or the sodas, get you some sparkling water or some club soda or seltzer water. I'm Miss Wells. This has been the 100 Health Show. I love y'all. Can't stop, won't stop. Hey, I'll see y'all next week. I'll have Q&A for the next 2 Wednesdays, and then at the end of the month, hey, we're back with another live episode. I live stream on YouTube, so if you can't do the Zoom or don't catch our Zoom, we're the Abundant Health channel on YouTube. We are streaming live right now. So, hey, this is Miss Wells, the 100 Health Show. So if y'all don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to close out and keep it 100. I thank y'all. You can unmute yourself if you like, if you want to holler at us or ask me a question. Ooh, ooh. We got to go on ahead and get our intro going. Hey, shout out to Big One Productions. Hey. All right, Facebook. Appreciate y'all being here. Peace. All right. Thank you all for who's been online with us on Zoom. All right. All right. All right. All right. Have a great day, y'all. I'm America's Health Teacher. Peace.